Okay, good morning. So we're going to move on. We're going to graph radicals. So we're going to graph square roots and cube roots today only. Remember, I said as soon as we return, we'll take our quiz over 5.1 and 5.2. So make sure you're ready for that. It is on Google Classroom and there are videos posted. So make sure you're ready for that. All right, so today we're going to talk about graphing. And so our first thing is understanding the parent function. And the first one we're going to look at is a square root. And then we have to remember when we look at parent functions, it's important to understand parent functions because they tell us what's happening with all these other graphs that we have. So we know what this looks like, if I change it at all. And then remember your parent function is the most basic. So we're going to do 3 points on this section. And then in cube roots, we're going to have 5. So when I look at this, remember when we would first look at the inverse of x to the power of 2, this is a quadratic. And you knew that because you saw the power of 2. So now I need you to know when you see this square root, or remember it could be x to the power of 1/2. Those both mean the same thing. They're going to look the same, right? So just like the quadratic, there's nothing inside with the x. There's nothing inside here, so my x start point is 0. There's nothing on the outside, so my y, my start point is 0. We can also do a t-chart. So just like here, my parent function was at 0, 0. I used the rate of change, and I went up 1 over 1, right? Went up 1 over 1, and I got this like curve here. Right? We only did 3 points, but remember this is a rate of change. It's not a constant rate of change like a slope as far as like a line, so it does not have a line, just like this over here. So my slope is, well, my rate of change here is positive. So, I mean, it's not flipped over. It's the most basic. So I could say, okay, well, what is an x value when x is 0? So again, you could plug that in when x is 0. So I'm going to plug it in here. Square root of 0. Well, then y is 0. So that shows me that that's where my start point is. Okay. Now I'm going to choose 2 more points. So I have to have 3 points here. So my next point I'm going to say is 1. And the reason I'm going to say 1 is because the square root of 1 is 1. Right? So I'm going to go up 1 over 1. Also, my rate of change tells me like kind of what is happening with that. Now, how to get my next point because I need 3. Well, I'm looking at the square root. So you need to think of your square roots. Well, what is one of my smallest square roots after 1? The square root of 4, right? So if I say when x is 4, so we say 4. And so the square root of 4 is 2. So I go over 1, 2, 3, 4, and up 1, 2. And then I'm going to graph this curve here. Now, why wouldn't I choose points to the left of the start point with a square root? This is my start point, right? And I chose both of my points to go to the right. Why did I not choose any points to go to the left? Stop the video and contemplate that a little bit, and then come back and see what your answer is. Hopefully you said the reason you didn't choose any points to the left is because it's a square root, and I cannot have a negative, no negatives under the square root, right? Because that becomes imaginary. So that is why I didn't choose any points to the left of that start point. So no matter where that start point is, then I will never choose points to the left of it, right? Unless it is a negative, and then we're going to look at those in a minute. Okay, let's look at another one. So let's change it up. So if I have f of x equals the square root of x plus 2. So I'm going to do my graph. And this is just like the quadratic and just like the absolute value. That concept that if it's inside parentheses, inside the absolute value symbol, under the radical, it is the opposite. So this is saying x is not positive 2, but x is negative 2, right? There's nothing out here, so they're saying y is 0. So if we did this t-chart, and square root of x plus 2, when x is negative 2, y is 0. So negative 2, 0. And let's see what that means. So if I said negative 2 plus 2, I plugged in this x right here. And I said y equals the square root of negative 2 plus 2 is 0. So y is 0. That works out, right? Okay, now let's stop and think about what other value I want to push it to the right. So I need 2 points to the right of this start point. Again, because my rate of change is positive, so I know it's going to go to the right. All right, my rate of change is positive, so I'm going to go to the right. Okay, so let's stop and think about what start kind of point I can have here. Well, I could say there's a negative 1, 0, 1, 2. I can use any of these points, any points that I like, okay? But I'm going to try to keep it easy for myself. So I'm going to say y is negative when x is negative 1. And the reason I'm choosing negative 1 is because I know the square root of negative 1 plus 2 is 1. And so y, the square root of 1 is 1. So I'm going to go negative 1, 1. Okay? Then, what about another point? Well, I know when x is 2, so 2 plus 2, y is then the square root of 4, and the square root of 4 is 2. So I'm going to go over 2 and up 2. And my graph is going to look like this. Don't forget your arrow at the end, right? We're going to do those 3 points. All right, let's look at another one. Okay, so if I have f of x equals, let's do a different slope, like a different rate of change, square root of x, and then I'm going to say minus 3. I'm doing all the different ones that you could possibly have. So a different rate of change, different x values, different y values. Okay, well, there's nothing inside here. So x is 0. This is then y is negative 3. So my start point is 0, negative 3. Again, you can do a t-chart. And we can say 1/2 x minus 3. So when x is 0, we can plug that in. 0 minus 3, well, 1/2 times 0 is 0 minus 3, so y is negative 3. Okay, it is a positive rate of change, so I'm still going to go to the right. Still going to go to the right, all right? Even if it's a negative, it's still going to go to the right, but we'll look at that in a minute. Okay, so now let's stop and think about points that I would use. Well, I know there's nothing under here, so I could use 1 because that's to my right of my start point. And so I can say 1/2 the square root of 1 minus 3, right? And the square root of 1 is 1. So y equals 1/2 minus 3. And so then I get y equals negative 2.5 or 2.5. Because you're graphing, we can have some decimals. So we have 1, and then I'm going to go negative 2.5. So I'm going to go 2, and I'm going to go halfway between, right? That kind of looks a little sloppy. Let's fix that. So I'm going to go over 1 and down 2.5. Okay, and then my next point that I could choose would be, well, I know a perfect square of 4, right? So I have y equals 1/2 the square root of 4 minus 3. So y equals 1/2 times 2. And so y equals 1 minus 3, so y equals negative 2. So I'm going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, and down 1, 2. And so my graph looks something like this. Okay, it's kind of got a curve though, so I know this one kind of looks straight, but there is a little bit of a curve. Let me see if I can undo that. So we'll do this, a little bit of curve here, and it still kind of looks straight, but there is a curve to this graph, okay? Okay, let's look at another one. I'm going to change the slope to a negative. So let's say we're just going to we'll keep it simple. We'll keep a negative 1. And I'm going to do the square root of x plus, I don't know, plus 2. We'll just kind of keep our graph small. Okay. So I'm going to do my chart here. And every time I'm doing this now, I'm thinking about all the students that don't like that little clicky sound. So we have our x value is at 0 and my y is at 2, right? So x, y, we have a negative square root of x plus 2. So when x is 0, y is 2. And if you wanted, you can plug that in. So we have y equals negative square root of 0 plus 2. Negative 1 times 0 is still 0, so y is 2. Same concept if that was a power of 2, right? We're still finding that start point the exact same. Okay, my rate of change is negative. Okay, so I'm still going to go to the right on this because of inside here. We're still going to the right. We'll always go to the right with this, with the square root. And so I'm going to move any points to this direction. So I can use 1, 2, whatever I want. Well, I know the square root of 1 is 1. So if I have y equals negative square root of 1 plus 2, well, this is y equals negative 1 plus 2, so y equals 1. So I'm going to go over 1 and up 1, okay? Then the next square root, I know that's perfect square, is 4. So I can say y equals negative square root of 4 plus 2. Well, y equals negative 2 plus 2. So y equals 0. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and we go 0. And so my graph now has this curve that looks like this. All right. Okay, so on your graphs, you're going to have to state your domain and your range. So remember, domain is all of your x values, and your range is all of your y values. So I'm going to have another video, since this one's long enough, with a domain and range on how to describe those.